Right, question 1. To break down large insoluble molecules into small soluble molecules, you will need the help of enzymes. And for question 2, you're supposed to refer to this diagram, and I think it will be easier if you could label QST and so on, right? So write down the names next to it. It will be much easier for you to do the question. And for question number 2, which of the following organs are involved in the digestion of fats? In the mouth, it's only starch. In the stomach, is, maybe I just write it down. In the mouth, only starch or carbohydrates. Okay, you can either say starch or carbohydrates. They're the same thing. They're the same thing, right? They get digested. In the stomach, only proteins get digested. Small intestine, it will be everything, therefore, but you cannot write everything, right? So you will put, so fats are digested, proteins are digested, and also carbohydrates are digested. So if the question, since the question asks which one is involved in the digestion of fats, is only the small intestines. So the answer is U. But you notice that, yes, U is here. But how come S and T is also involved? So let's take a look at the diagram. Why is S and T also involved? Well, if you want to digest fats, it takes place in the small intestines, but the enzymes that are used comes from both the small intestines as well as, oh sorry, this is not gallbladder, this is the, yeah, as well as the liver that produces the bile. So this one produces bile, and then it is stored in the gallbladder. So it will take the bile stored here, release into the small intestines, and you will work together with the enzyme in the small intestines to digest your fats. Actually, there's one more organ, which is the pancreas, but the question didn't ask, because the pancreas also produces an enzyme that will digest fats in the small intestine. So the answer here is D. Which one is not a function of S? If you look at your paper, S is actually liver. So which one is not a function of liver? Answer is C. Liver does not digest protein. If you look at 9.4 of your textbook, 9.4 will talk about the uses of liver. So remove alcohol, urea, store glucose. So but it does not digest protein. So C is the answer. Question 4. Which of the following organs are involved in the digestion of protein? So again, we will look at protein here. Protein is digested in the stomach. So R is definitely involved. Proteins are also digested in the small intestines. So U is involved. So the answer is C, R and U, which is stomach, which is stomach and small intestines. Okay, so proteins are digested here. Question 5. For materials entering and leaving the digestive system, pass through the following organs, except, well, it does not pass through pancreas. B. Sorry. It does not pass through the pancreas. If you look at the digestive tract again, the alimentary canal or digestive tract, the food enters the mouth, gullet, stomach, small intestines, large intestines, then come out, right? So the pancreas, the food does not go into pancreas. Pancreas only provide the enzyme that will go into the small intestines. The liver, similarly, food does not pass through liver. All it does is produce bile that will be stored inside the gallbladder, and then this bile enters the small intestines. But the food does not go into liver, it does not go into pancreas. Question 6. Carbohydrates are mainly digested in the mouth and small intestines. So B is the answer. Mouth salivary gland produces the enzyme. Small intestines, again there's enzyme by small intestine and pancreas that will digest carbohydrates. So B is the answer. Question 7. For question 7, the question says the digested food is absorbed by the which organ into what? So the answer is C. The organ that absorbs the food is your small intestines, and then the absorbed food will go into the bloodstream. Question 8. The gallbladder. Now what is the purpose of the gallbladder? It basically stores. It's a storage space, right? The bag stores the bile. And then when the food is going into the small intestines, they will then release the bile into the small intestines. So B is the answer. Question 9. Which one is not a function of the pancreas? D. So the pancreas can produce, and so basically what we know is pancreas will produce enzyme, and the enzyme can be used to digest 3 categories of food: the fats, the carbohydrates, as well as the proteins. Right? So A is correct. The pancreas also releases insulin. This one we will learn a bit more in 9.4. And the insulin is used to regulate glucose in the blood. And the digestive enzymes that's being produced goes into the small intestines, right? But it does not produce any acidic substance to neutralize the content. In fact, this sentence is wrong because the stomach itself is acidic, so if you want to neutralize it, you should produce alkaline substance. So D is the answer. And then question 10. The enzymes in our digestive system require optimal physical condition. 2 things that we can make them work optimally. Number 1 is to give them the optimal temperature, and then to give them the optimal pH. Question 11. What happens to the enzyme at X and Y? Well, at X, you can see that this part is quite low because this is the part where it reacts the fastest. This is the fastest reaction. So here it's still quite slow. Okay, if you look here, it will be quite slow. So X enzyme reaction is slow, and at Y also slow. Actually, if you look, they are about the same. They are about the same activity. Okay, they are all quite slow. I think for the ones where the enzyme reaction is fast, it will be probably somewhere above here, this part here, right? So this part is still considered slow. So B is the answer. Here is because the enzymes are slow because they are inactive, and here they are slow because they are getting destroyed. They are getting destroyed by the heat. So they are so both here and here, the enzyme reactions are very slow. Next, the enzyme works best at what temperature? Well, the enzyme works best at about 40 degrees Celsius C. That's close to our body temperature. 30 is a bit too low, so it will still be quite inactive, right? 40 is the best. 65, you will have already destroyed the temperature, the enzyme. If you drink too much alcohol, you will, it's a result of excessive alcohol consumption. The organ that process all the alcohol into something that's more harmless is your liver. So when you drink too much alcohol, your liver overworks, so you might get liver cancer. Next, constipation. Well, if you want to prevent constipation, you will eat a lot of dietary fiber. Sometimes we just use the word fiber, but it's good to add the word dietary fiber to differentiate between the fiber that is present, like say in our clothes or in the tree. But dietary fiber means the ones that we can actually eat it, right? The one that's in fruits and vegetables. The last question, the blood of diabetic person, if you are diabetic, that means you have too much glucose in your blood. And that's why diabetic patient, sometimes the high amount of glucose in the blood can actually be detected from the machine. They prick their blood and you can actually tell that there's too much glucose. That will detect the amount of glucose. So C is the answer here. Okay.